who are dead are not dead, they're just living in my head. I don't think there's any doubt that Bradman's one of the most important people there's ever been in Australia. People who might have invented penicillin and people who save others' lives and so on. He was never one to put himself ahead of those. There must be something. But Bradman, in those years and the circumstances, he was just a one-off.
Well, there's no doubt that Don Bradman's the best batsman of all time, and nobody will average 99.94. I think it was more than that. I think the fact that Bradman's period was during the Great Depression, when Australia needed a hero, and he stood up. People were out of work, they were walking out of their homes, they were depressed, there were a lot of suicides. It was a terrible time in the history of Australia, particularly for the working people, and Bradman stood tall. He was a national hero along with Phar Lap the horse, and he was a household name for everybody. Apart from his performances on the field, he was just an inspiration to a country that was struggling. It was just a wonderful time for Australian cricket and for Don Bradman.
Play the game for the game's sake is my advice to the youngsters coming on, and keep your eye on the ball.
Hitting a golf ball up against a tank stand with a cricket stump is near impossible. I think I've tried it a couple of times, and maybe at 2 in a row, that was the best. But seeing Sir Donald Bradman on that footage hit 3 or 4, that's pretty amazing.
Inside 50 towards Stokes. Brennan's within. Stokes takes him on. Around the body towards goal. Only left one. And a lot.
Turned around and up one step would have seen his father kick many goals from that position there. What a fantastic goal.
Watkins goes to one knee. Albert's gone. Folds away through. That's a goal. Geelong in front. Rises to the top. This is
successful child from down under is the original Aussie surf animal and 8-time world champ Layne Beachley from Sydney. She's not only the reigning competition queen and big wave charger, but also a businesswoman. She paved the way for women surfers and changed the way the world looks at women in surfing.
Growing up in Australia, you pretty much grow up as a water baby because 95% of the population lives near the coast. So we have a natural affiliation with the ocean and a natural appreciation of the great outdoors as well. So growing up on the beach was certainly part of my livelihood and a very important part of my childhood. And I grew up at the South Stayne end, and so if I ever encroached upon the northern end of the beach, I would get harassed and intimidated and threatened. But that really bred a lot of competitiveness in me because I stood up for what I believed in and I stood up and fight against those guys. So I think competitiveness was just ingrained in me. It ran through my veins as much as blood did, and it was just a matter of time before I found professional surfing.